Welcome to the Chiro Money Show, where we're helping chiropractors make better financial decisions so they can build stability in their finances and a lifestyle that they love. We're your hosts, Chris and Scott, and we're excited to dive into this with you today. Today is kind of like our teaser intro episode. We kind of introduce the podcast, why we're doing this, and just share a little bit about ourselves. So yeah, we'll kind of dive right in there and share our why. So at the heart of the why, I think for both of us is just this desire to help. And I know Scott often has to rein me in of like, we can't help everyone. We have to help the people that are aligned and fit into kind of the niche that we are serving, which is chiropractors. And Scott, why don't you tell them a bit about that and our journey with working with chiropractors?
Yeah, it's been a wonderful journey thus far over the last about 5 years. Actually, it was 5 years in September since we launched our financial planning practice called Aligned Wealth, where we made a decision, or I made a decision back in 2020 to niche and work exclusively with Canadian chiropractors. A little bit of a backstory real quick on that is prior to Aligned Wealth, I was doing financial planning for all types of business owners. And as much as I enjoyed that, the common challenge that I came about was every business owner has unique challenges in terms of how their business runs, their corporate structures, how they staff and pay employees, like you name it. Every industry is very different. And that became a pain point in my practice. And I said, you know what? I need to get really good at helping one type of person solve their unique challenges and get a good understanding what their unique opportunities are as well. So that's where we made a decision at that time to shift and do a rebrand to Align Wealth. And it's been 5 years, and I couldn't imagine doing it any other way.
Yeah, I love it. And that's ultimately like what brought us together is I saw you doing this thing, this niche, working with chiropractors, and I was so amazed. It's like, man, people actually do this? Like, I was still kind of in the world you were previously living in of like, can I help everybody? Like, whatever kind of area they come from in life, whatever kind of business they have, like, can I help everybody? And you taught me a lot about how impactful we can be in a client's life if we are an expert in that field. And that's kind of what drew us into this and why we're on this path is to have that big impact. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, ultimately this show, this podcast is just a place for real talk about money and practice life. And, you know, we want to cover all of the different financial areas that touch a chiropractor's life. You know, you often say when we're meeting a new client, Scott, like if there's a dollar sign attached to it, we want to talk about it. And I think this podcast is going to be no different, right? We're gonna talk about everything from cash flow, debt repayment, insurance, investing, building wealth, real estate, whatever it is. Like, we know all the different areas that a chiropractor goes through in their career and journey in life, and we're gonna hit all those things, right?
I think one of the areas I'm really excited about this platform of starting a podcast is having this kind of opportunity to have just genuine conversations, like real talk, like you just said, about these topics, and can kind of go back and forth and share kind of not like personal details on clients, but real stories about what's going on with our clients in their lives and practices and with their finances. And, you know, in the past, I've really wanted to educate through, you know, video on Instagram, for example, but it's such a different medium where you're trying to deliver educational content in a 45-second to a 90-second video, and it's very hard to do. Where now on this platform, we do want to keep these episodes nice and short and punchy and to the point without fluff, but at least here we can kind of expand and kind of help the listener take something away from it and actually go apply it to their life.
Yeah, exactly. Such a good point. Like, it's so hard in that short form, like 2-minute video or less of what like social media's come to these days. Like, it's got to be so punchy, and it's so hard to keep it concise and take this complex thing and break it down to like all the level of detail that someone needs to understand to make a better decision. And so that's that's why we're going to podcast, right? So we want to educate and inform and help chiropractors make better financial decisions. That's why we're doing this, right? So like you said, we're going to keep these episodes relatively short. 15 to 20 minutes is the aim. We're going to try to have an episode every 2 weeks. That may change in the future, but we'll roll with 2 weeks for now. And like you also mentioned, we're going to go through some real life examples, talk about the typical problems and solutions that we see in our clients' lives, just kind of go behind the curtains and look at all those different things. So some of the areas we're going to start with for the first few episodes, we're going to talk about why success still feels messy sometimes. We're going to talk about what the difference between earning a high income and building true wealth are. We'll talk about efforts and how they can sometimes feel not correlated to results, or like disconnected from the actual results that we're getting in our practice or our personal financial life. And turning some chaos into clarity. I'm excited for that one. And profit first. That's an area that Scott's an expert in, and it's been, for me, a huge learning and opportunity that a lot of our clients take advantage of, is implementing a system in their business, in their practice cash flow. Anything I missed there, Scott?
No, I'm just excited to bring the common challenges that we hear on a regular basis. We were using AI the other day to take a handful of our previous conversations that we've had over the last month we meet almost all of our clients online these days and have AI transcripting our calls. And I asked AI, like, can you pull out all the questions that these chiropractors had over these handful of meetings? And wow, I was blown away. Like well over 100 different unique questions that came from these various households about their finances, about their practices. And these are the things that are on chiropractors' minds. So we want to bring them to a platform like this and go a little bit deeper and dive into those questions. And hopefully you can take something away from each of these episodes and go apply it.
Yeah. All right. We'll wrap it there. First intro episode done. Now you guys know a little bit about why we're doing this, and we'd love for you to subscribe, follow along with the show, be part of the journey. And if you have questions, like Scott said, we love diving into those and providing the real value and giving unique experiences and also possible solutions or answers to those questions from our frame of context, where we're coming from, and we can't wait to share that with you guys. So if you have questions, you can send them to us directly through social media channels or our website. If you go to the chiromoneyshow.ca, you can even submit anonymous questions there. So yeah, thanks for listening, and we can't wait to walk this journey with you guys.
All opinions expressed on the Chiro Money Show are for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. Nothing on this podcast should be considered financial, legal, accounting, or tax advice. Always consult your own team of licensed professionals before making decisions about your finances.